Senator Britt of Alabama is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Americans are facing real problems and real financial challenges under the Biden administration. Yet I am discouraged by the continual lack of responsibility taken by this White House for the consequences of its own actions. What we see from this administration is another attempt to change its messaging, to blame shift rather than reversing course or admitting fault. According to some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, it's not inflation or excessive government spending or overregulation that is fueling the obstacles that hardworking families are facing just to make ends meet every day. Instead, they are pointing the blame to everyone imaginable. Last week in this committee room, we talked about shrinkflation. This week, it's junk fees that are to blame. Junk fees, by the way, is an arbitrary term found nowhere in any legal statute, used by this administration to vilify seemingly every industry that offers services to its customers. However, so many times, these are just political talking points used to distract from the root of the problem and to evade accountability. There is also an attempt to justify significant regulatory actions from regulators across the board, and without any adequate cost-benefit analysis to follow or any assessment of how these numerous rulemakings actually impact the end user, actually impact the customer, or actually impact the member. These very individuals that these regulators and administration claim to be, quote, helping, I believe are the very ones that are going to suffer the most. Mrs. Madre, just to clarify, and you obviously are the CEO of a smaller financial institution, a federal credit union, and I want to know how this is going to affect your members, what this means to the very people that we are trying to help. So first, does current regulation already require credit unions and banks to disclose fees to their members and to their customers?
So the current regulation requires us to disclose fees. Yes, okay. We have a fee schedule that we go over with our members at the time that they apply for
it. Thank you. And in addition to these disclosures that are already required by law, do your institutions typically engage in other forms of communication with your members or your customers? Do you, for instance, share things like low balance alerts, things like that?
Yes, we have texting services that our members can opt into that will alert them when their balance is low, plus all sorts of tools where they can monitor their account online.
Okay, well, thank you. In addition to these types of alerts and communications, have financial institutions, particularly these smaller credit unions, proactively made other changes to their late fees and overdraft fee programs without any additional regulation or legislative changes? Like, what have you done to make improvements in this area?
So one of the things that we do is our members who have overdraft protection, we educate them that you do not have to access that by swiping your debit card. If you find that you cannot make ends meet, we encourage our members to come in and ask that all of the funds that are available be moved into their checking account or savings account so that they pay just the one fee in the course of a month, and they will have those funds available to them when they need them.
Excellent. I am glad to hear that. I certainly believe you understand the needs of your members and the day-to-day challenges that they face in the state of Indiana more than anyone in a regulating building here in Washington, D.C. So I appreciate what you are doing to help the very people that these regulations intend or say they intend to help. A couple of other questions. Do you as the CEO determine your salary or your bonus based on overdraft or late fee charges at your credit union?
No. And in fact,
that's what I thought. In fact, go ahead.
I will just share that from time to time, I have told my board that I will forego a raise or a bonus when I feel that our credit union needs to show a profit in order to be able to meet regulatory requirements.
And obviously serve your members' needs. So thank you so much. And can you share with us what you anticipate will happen to the products that you offer to your members at your credit union if the CFPB's so-called junk fee rules are finalized as proposed? I mean, specifically, what would happen to things like free checking account or affordable small business loans? That's kind of what I want to know.
Yes, we would probably have to rethink our interest rate structure, increase our interest rates when possible, eliminate things like free checking accounts, and
Eliminate free checking accounts.
eliminate free.
The very people that this rule is so-called intended to help, I believe it will hurt, and I think that what you have said proves that right there. So thank you so much, and I wish we could take a look at these regulations and actually see how they affect the end user. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Britt. Senator Smith of